take a look at what you have. How long have you had this listing for?
So this listing just went live on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, okay.
Yeah, so they're very excited. It's a young family. They're moving on because their family is growing and they need a little more space, but the house is absolutely stunning.
Now, is this how they live or is it staged?
No, this is how they live.
This is how they live.
They are, it's amazing to me that they have an infant and this is how they live. So this was done when it was built, right? The upper level was done, although they've done some additions and added, you know, like nicer fancy faucets. This one's like one of these lifetime warranty.
Yeah.
I don't even know, it probably flies away eventually. So again, for 850 square feet, really nice sized bedroom, patio doors. You know, they haven't even finished the deck on the back yet.
My husband.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Too far out of my
out of your area, but
area
yeah, so beautiful Amelia lives
Look
in
at the little
here.
Jets jersey.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, so we can go. Want to take a look
Cute
downstairs?
little way to get more space to sit down here too, eh? You know, with the bench, right? Because the chairs would be sticking out too much.
Beautiful, beautiful living space. The matching tile, marble tile on the wall. More marble. The fireplace again. I mean,
this is a great place to host people too.
like
Right?
again, for an 850 square foot.
I was gonna ask. It feels a lot. Bigger.
Yeah, yeah, because all of your living space is utilized. It's all functional, right? She would live, she says, if she could, in this shower. So just like absolutely.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
The honeycomb tile.
Right.
Wood.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the different things that shoot out at you.
Yeah, full like body jets and everything, like. So all done in the last few years.
Outstanding, eh, Sally?
My goodness.
I know it's something to.
And so clean.
I know.
Yeah, it's quite the place.
Well, thank you for the tour.
Yeah,
We're not
absolutely.
done yet.
Of course.
But we're going to pause
Okay,
and sit down and have a little chat with you.
sounds lovely.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Fantastic. We meet again.
Yes. Happy to meet again.
Yes. Yes. Very happy for you in this new journey of yours. The reason I say again is because when Navigant was a magazine, we interviewed Sara and her husband and we talked about RE Mechanical, the company that they own. But now Navigant is a platform for sharing stories through film on our website and YouTube, and we've got a fantastic partner, Vince Bucci. We're on a new journey. You're on a new journey.
It all fits beautifully.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It's good. I'm so happy for you. Your red shoes are fantastic.
Yes,
I meant to
yes.
say fantastic in a drawn out way. Why real estate?
Okay. I'll try to keep it concise, but it's hard for me.
That's okay.
There's a reason I went into this business. It's because I like to talk. It was something I thought about actually probably my entire adult life. My grandmother was an agent.
Oh.
And she always kind of encouraged me to say that it was something she thought I'd be really good at. But again, family, kids, life, all the things, the timing just never felt right. It just never felt right. And I was obviously more concerned about raising my kids and what that meant. And it, you know, again, didn't seem feasible. I knew I needed to make a change. And we had that conversation, and the next day I walked into the Manitoba Real Estate Association and bought my first module and just went for it. Yeah.
How long did it take you?
So that was June 26th of 2024 that I went and picked that up, and I was fully licensed by basically January 1st of this year.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So a bunch of exams, 20 years since I had been in school and taken exams and studied and all of the things that I was terrified of. But I found an amazing brokerage that, you know, kind of took me on before I was even licensed to help me with my training and help me get through everything. And it's worked out just from the moment I walked in that door. It's just felt like I've
meant to be.
Absolutely on the right path.
You're walking your path of truth and things came to you instead of forcing outcomes.
Absolutely.
Now tell us a little bit about your competitive side. We talked about that for the magazine, and I think it's really interesting because people look at you and they don't necessarily know that part of you,
Right.
which is
figure skating.
figure skating.
Yeah. So I grew up as that was what I did. I was a competitive figure skater. I have my certification to still teach. So I'm a couple times a week, just for a couple hours a week. I do at East St. Paul Community Center. And also I'm really, really wanting to get my daughter into it as well. So I'm trying to get back into it for her sake.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've always been a highly competitive person. I mean, I like to win. I mean, I can't. There's no other way to win. I want to win.
You're in the right
I like
profession for it.
Yeah, I want to be. I have been a fitness coach as well, so that was another been beautiful and how I met you, and that's what makes it all worthwhile.
You're a great coach.
Thank you.
I experienced you, and
thank you.
At 58 years of age, I've seen it all. I've been to different gyms. I've done hot yoga, Muay Thai, done everything. And what I liked about your style is that it wasn't rah over the top. It was just like a solid. You felt like you were being pushed. Like you're on a swing set and you're pushed, and you'd come around and push.
Yeah.
So with respect to seeing you on the blue, as we called the surface of the gym that we both attended, and now watching you here, I can see that you're going to do well at this. I mean, I'm just putting that in as an observation. But I do think that it is challenging.
Absolutely.
To do this kind of work, especially starting fresh.
Well, and that is the thing that I am learning quickly. And I think, knowing that I've had different experiences and, I'm not fresh out of high school or anything like that, that, any job that you might have has its challenges. It has the parts that you love and the parts that you don't love. And so far so good. There's no lie and say that I haven't lost sleep over feeling, about certain deals and things that are going on. And it's highly emotional because I don't take it lightly. They're buying your home. It's your biggest investment. And I know what that felt like for me when I bought a home. So I know what on the other side of that. And I get very invested. If I'm your age and I'm like, okay, we're together. I am in that family for that moment. You know what I mean? And so it's a lot. Like it can be a roller coaster.
I've also bought and sold different houses, and the realtor makes the difference. Feeling like you can call someone up and say, this is going on, and have the realtor actually listen and not simply just waiting to speak and say, well, we got this option, we got that option. And I think that also speaks to the level of trust that you need to have in someone when you're entrusting your house sale.
Absolutely.
You can't just, throw darts at a board and say, oh, okay, well, I like that person. You literally have to trust that person with, as you said, what for some people it's serious.
It's everything.
It is serious.
It's everything.
It's all the money they have. Even getting a certain interest rate will make all the difference between what they can afford and what they can't afford. And understanding lifestyle.
Make that very clear to them as well, that like, if I'm not for you, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because we're going to spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And it's going to become really personal really fast, right? And so you have to divulge to me all your financial situation. Like you have to give me all of that personal information in order for me to best help you.
Yeah.
And so there's got to be a good vibe there. You know what I mean? And so again, I don't take that lightly, and I want people to feel comfortable and know that I will have their best interests at heart.
Take us through the process of preparing something like this.
Okay.
Somebody calls you, hey Sarah, I want to list my house. What do you do?
So first things first is they call me, I come over, we have a chat, and before I even get there, they're going to give me, of course, their address and that kind of thing, and I'm going to be able to do some work in the behind the scenes, right? So I'll be able to look up the property history of their home and everything that's gone on with it, and then also be able to look at the comparable properties in their area, that kind of thing. So I can come in without even seeing the home and give them a ballpark of what their home might be worth. And then of course we adjust once we see the home and we see what's been done. And so are you downsizing? Why is that? And that's going to change the way we're going to market the home, the way we're going to, are we going to do, let's say, offers as received, as they call it, because they're just like, no, I just want to get it done. Do we want to try to get that multiple offer situation? So we have to have those conversations, and I need to learn their motivations and that kind of thing. So in chat for an hour, sometimes 2 hours, it goes, depending, and usually those are the good ones because that means we do have a good connection kind of thing. And then from there, right, there's a lot of again, back to the office, back to the computer, finding out the taxes for the area, all those little things that people sometimes don't even know about their own home, right? And so that's the information I get for them, putting together the listing, getting my photographer in to come and take beautiful photos, and prepping all of that. So I mean, it can be, I mean, I can do it in a couple of days. I prefer not to. It's nice to have a good week or so to really, make sure I'm not missing anything, finding out all the upgrades with the home, anything that's been done, making that list. And then when we go to list, of course, I get my sign delivered to the front lawn. They sign the dotted line and decide what they'd like to price their home at. Of course, I give them advice, but ultimately it's up to the home buyer. And then I show up with, information like this, feature sheets for the people that come to look at the home, lists of upgrades so that people can see, because you only have 1,250 characters on MLS, and sometimes it's just not enough.
I did not know that.
For me to explain everything that the home has to offer.
That's why all the abbreviations.
That's why, there's apps and things like that are set up for all the agents so that we can communicate with each other to arrange showings. And I'm constantly, as the home is on the market, I'm constantly navigating that and working as far as what we really do. And then, once that time has expired, for example, with this home, offers are on Tuesday. The hope is that I walk through the door with a stack of papers of people that want to buy their home.
I'm sure you will.
Well, I feel like
what this place looks like.
It's pretty stunning.
So, it feels good in here.
Yeah.
Very, very comfortable.
Yeah. So.
This is a beautiful home. What happens if you're either in a not so great neighborhood? Like I had a beautiful home in a neighborhood that not many were comfortable living in. Yep. What do you do in that case? Or if the home is a little bit well-worn, shall we say, needs some TLC, all of those kinds of euphemisms that I've heard realtors use. How do you help manage somebody's expectations?
That is probably one of the most difficult parts of my job, because even though you may live in what's considered a less desirable area, your home is your home. It's hard to see the value or what the true value might be to the consumer, because it's always going to be worth more to you because it's your home. Right. And you love it. I've had a situation similar to yours, and unfortunately, the home itself was immaculate, but again, it was in an area that was not considered desirable, and there was an apartment building in behind that was questionable, a vacant house next door, also questionable. The homes tend to tell their own story anyway. Yes. Right? So I try to, like I said, give them that. I mean, at that point, it's about price and saying, this is what I feel your home is worth. The true story will be told by the consumer. They will come in and decide if your home is worth that or not worth that.
In my case, I had this beautiful 110-year-old home that was built by Polish Ukrainian immigrants.
Amazing.
And it was bought by a Ukrainian Canadian who was a military man who was nearby. And he had absolutely no problem living in a colorful neighborhood. Sure. With a tall fence, deadbolts, state-of-the-art alarm system. Sometimes it's that organic, I don't really like that expression, but that organic part of what it is to live and to do business. Sometimes the right person comes to the right place, knocks on the door, boom.
If you're a true Winnipegger and you can see that it's a good, like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people that are like, I got this. You know what I mean? Like it's, and again, or love that, or love that vibe of not necessarily the perfect suburban, you know what I mean? Everything
diversity
brand new. People love, and there's a certain person that wants that and wants that urban feel and wants all of that. So the right buyer is there, I believe, for every home, right? Some people want turn of the century glass doorknobs and crown molding, and that's what they're about. So it's all personal, right? So there is a buyer out there, just like I believe that there's someone out there for everyone, some home out there for everyone, no matter what as well. So it's just, the home tells it tells its own story a lot of the time.
That's a great closing. The home tells its own story. We're going to help Sara brag about it. Cut.